Hello, people. Hello, people. So this is not announced. This is very, very impromptu. This is just not announced. We didn't plan this, but they said spontaneity is the spice of life, right? So this is one of my friends, one of the guys who has been a backbone of my like support system of those who follow what I do out here on Facebook, on social media. His name is Joseph Peters. This is the first day we are speaking, like that I'm seeing his face. But he's if you go through my page, you will see Joseph Oladimeji Peters. He's been dropping lots of comments, lots of engagement, thought provoking issues. And then, funny enough, he's one of those that received a little token that we did during my graduation. So I'm happy to meet him in person. I actually did that for up to 26 people, but I don't know if I've met three of them. So, but it's good to eventually get to meet you, Joseph. And we're expecting some other guys or one other guy to join us eventually. And we're just going to be having conversation, chatting, and yes, Chibukem is here. So let's see who we have here. Joseph, over to you.
Yeah. Um, well, I must thank the host of this program in the person of Son of Big God, you know, as it's fondly called. Um, his other name, from what I see, I think is Fortunatus Nandi, something like that. Am I correct?
Yes, you're correct.
Yes. So I think I'm very intentional about that. Because I didn't know that he has been taking note of me as I take note of him also. So it's such a good thing that the energy is mutual and it's reciprocative. So that's something that is very thoughtful and all that. So well, I'm just that random person that I'm just a happy person. So whenever I come online, sometimes I just go to catch cruise, and some people can take it seriously, but I don't really care. But I still care anyway. So that's just me. I'm just a good person.
Okay, good. I know that Chibukem is here. I'll bring him up in just in a minute. I'm going to ask you. You went to seminary as well, right? This is my camera. Follow my face. Follow my
Yeah.
face. Aha, good. I want to go and sit down on the other chair. Come. Aha, good. Great. So, you also went to seminary, right?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good. So you are very bitter right now.
Oh, I'm not really bitter because on the second note also um the congregation also tried. So we mustn't say that because we are no longer in the system, we just talk about the negatives because also there are also some good things I also benefited from the congregation.
Yeah.
So when I was asked to leave, because I was asked to leave, I didn't leave on my own accord. Though it was
Mm,
painful, so I took it in good faith. And even in my former congregation, it's Claretians, West Delegation. I'm still in touch with most of them. I'm
mm,
still in touch. We're in good terms. We talk from time to time. We still gist and the rest of that. So it's one of those things. I see it as being in the seminary is like a relationship between a man and a woman, out of which one
mm,
person at some point can decide that okay, I don't think I want to continue with this relationship anymore. So it doesn't
mm-hmm,
mean the person is a bad person. So that is how I view it. So I view it from the positive aspect. You know,
mm,
I didn't see it from the perspective of negativity. Yes, but
yeah.
though at first I was bitter because it was painful. I was trying to navigate, but it's been 3 years now since
Mm,
2021. So but then again, I still thank God because also being an ex-seminarian also, there are places you go to, it opens door for you. Like people
Mm.
cannot understand the idea that, oh, why did you even decide to go there in the first place? Oh, thank God you are here now. Don't you think that this is the best place for you? And people just and ladies are seeing you as, oh, you are the guy.
Yeah.
Because of they're seeing you as, oh, you are the guy, this is the guy. Regardless of whatsoever. And you're like, I'm still trying to, and they cannot really understand. And some feel it's a good idea by you leaving, and some are like, thank God, oh, God delivered you. Like
Yeah.
were you in bondage before, you know, so, someone asked me, someone said, for for 6 years, what were you doing there? Thank God you were blind, but now you're out. Is it not a good thing? Go get yourself some life, you know,
Mm.
so and the rest of that. Yes, the experiences so far has not been easy. You always meet the good, the bad, and the ugly. But there are
Yeah.
also moments where, when you also think about it, also, you would also give thanks to God for having given you the opportunity to pass through that formation. Because there are some things that, without the seminary, I might not come to the knowledge of most things presently.
Mm.
So, on a positive note, also, I also need to thank the church, and to my congregation, Claretians West Delegation. Anywhere I go, I still make reference to them because they were good guys, and everybody cannot be good.
Mm.
Some people must be bad. Even Christ chose Judas.
Yeah.
So we must not always dwell on the negativity, and so
Mm.
that's it.
Oh, good, good. Um, so I hear you. You say we must not always dwell on the negativity. Is there a balance?
What?
Do you think there is a balance to sharing the stories of people who might have had a difficult? It seems like you had a good experience in the seminary,
Yeah,
right?
there is you say what? Come again, please.
I said, okay, let me just ask you straight up. What was your experience like? The process of separation from that relationship. You describe it like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, the separation was painful. It was
Mm.
heartbroken. Why was it
Mm.
heartbroken? It was heartbroken in the sense that the daily meditation before the Blessed Sacrament, some of
Mm.
those strenuous activities, I missed them so much. So that daily meditation of going to the Blessed Sacrament, meditation, waking up very early in the morning, there is a space in the house that has been separated unto the Lord. So
Mm.
coming out from that place, that vacuum needs to be filled up with something. And so
Mm-hmm.
because I was not having that space, so you can imagine what could have occupied. So the thoughts, I literally would sleep at night and I would wake up in the morning, and each time I just remember that, oh bro, you're no longer in the system. Oh, sorrow invades my heart. It's the kind of sorrow I feel. It just invades my heart. Sometimes
Mm.
you would just decide I just want to be alone. And while you are alone, you're just within the confines of yourself. You are crying.
Yeah.
You are shedding tears. You
Mm-hmm.
start asking yourself questions like, what did I not do right? Oh, I didn't mean I knew. I should have done this. I should have done this. I should have done this. Oh, why didn't I see this coming? Oh, why was I
Yeah.
at least at some point in time? That regret will begin to set in. At some point,
Yeah.
if care is not taken, um, you would begin to think that the whole idea of priesthood is a scam. Now, let me tell you the climax of it. Now, I normally tell brothers ex-seminarians who ask me this question that if you don't feel this way, it means that you never had vocation in the first place. Now, what is it? Now, bro,
Mm.
the parish, the mass became a place of torment for me. Like,
Mm.
I'm supposed to go for mass and I'm supposed to be edified that I've come to experience God. But each time I go for mass, it becomes a place of torment because the moment I step my feet into the Catholic Church and I just go into the church, as I'm looking at the altar, seeing worst part is if I see a seminarian on the altar, you know, I just feel like tearing down inside of me.
Mm.
There's this tears that come from within, and
Yeah.
literally, you just feel like this used to be me. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to
Mm.
be on that. I'm supposed to be on that sacred altar. So,
Yeah.
what is it? Why am I not? Why am I not there? Okay, then it's time for communion, and they are singing, "Take me deeper in love with you, Jesus," and you are going to receive. And why you are going to receive? As you are meditating, you begin to hear the priest telling you the body of Christ, the body of Christ. So while you are thinking about that, you begin to remember some of your apostolic work experiences where you are distributing Holy Communion, and you are
Mm-hmm.
looking at yourself that, oh, all of a sudden, I am now in the congregation receiving the Eucharist as a full lay person.
Yeah.
But when you come to receive the Eucharist now, your heart will be so shattered because
Mm.
this is something, because you just feel that you are separated. So going for mass alone does not suffice.
Mm.
In the sense that you still need to do a lot of introspection to find your way back into yourself. Else, if you're not careful, you would lose it. You would
Mm.
lose it. If you're not careful, you will just lose it from there.
Yeah.
So that has been the experience so far, so good.
I appreciate you sharing this story. Those are I mean, you are the only one who know what that felt like. So when I was hearing you starting off from the very positive end, I know just from I know just from being an ex-seminarian 2 times in one life that it's not fun. So this is not my day for my story, so I wouldn't go deep into that. But I know that it's a both and. There's usually one side that you continue to be grateful, but there's also another side where, I mean, like in every breakup, like in every um any time where something that was beautiful ends, there's always a grief. There's a grieving, there's a kind of pain that comes with it. So um you said something about then when you now walk up to receive communion, you discover or you begin to feel that, oh, now I am a full lay person. And it makes me wonder, are seminarians the
Yeah.
way you are seminarians not lay people, or is there something attached to that that maybe gives the impression that they are not lay people?
Voila.
Yes. Actually, that's a very good question, and I'm going to tell you why I said that. Yeah.
Okay.
In the real sense of it, seminarians are lay people, but
Mm.
you will
This
agree with me
question now,
that the
wow.
kind of formation you're given to in the seminary,
Yeah.
most times, people you are seen like a mini priest, and
Mm-hmm.
many of us wear that pride and arrogance of that. Oh, I'm a future priest. Oh, so
Yes.
we see ourselves as being better than others.
Wait, time out, time out, time out, time out. I don't usually cut people off. Please repeat that arrogance
Okay.
part. Please, I use God beg you.
Okay. Yes. I said, yes, I
Why are
said,
you so much
I'm
interested
not
like
afraid
that now?
to
Hey.
quote myself. I said that being in the seminary, you will agree with me that the formation in the seminary gives us a kind of pride and arrogance that
Mm,
we are mini priests. Sometimes
mm,
you are telling your priest what you wish to do with the lay priest, and they're like, don't you know you're a seminarian? As if you are different.
mm,
So many of us have been given this have been formed in this unconscious way of seeing ourselves as different. And many of
Mm,
us pride ourselves in it. And most of us are arrogant. Why I'm saying this
mm,
is because um it was my experience. I was as a senior, I was proud. I was arrogant, I
mm,
feel I was better than others. But sometimes I still feel like there's something I'm not getting right. Are these people different from me? But I'm not a priest yet. But each time I want to think that way, they keep telling me, you're under formation. Don't you know that you are trained differently? And
mm,
you are trained differently and the rest of that. It's not the same
mm.
thing. So many of us have this self-conceited superiority over others, that we are better than them, that we are mini priests. So and
Joseph, one more
that's
time, one more time, one more time. I need to
yes,
break you for one more time because you know
yes,
what? You just say something powerful. Not many of us can come out live and acknowledge that they are arrogant or that they are prideful. So I want to honor you for saying that. And that's something that we all share as people who have been formed in the kind of system that we are formed. So I'm going to come back to that. I want you to continue, but I just want to pause to honor the
all right,
humility, to honor the genuineness of that statement. That you start from
yes.
yourself to notice that maybe we are trained in a way that makes us proud or arrogant or both. So please continue.
All right. Yes. So thank you very much. Yes. So this thing came from the standpoint view of a lot of introspection, because when I checked myself to check what went wrong, I actually saw that I'm also part of the problem too. It's not good to be pointing
Mm-hmm,
finger at others. Meanwhile, why you
mm-hmm,
point finger at others? The one that is facing you is before you. So
mm-hmm,
I've learned to harness myself in such a way that anything that I'm seeing in others, I try to look, am I doing better? I'm doing worse.
mm-hmm.
So it takes a conscious effort to always do that. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So as I'm saying, so in the seminary, it was not, it was that way. They just give you this formation of self-conceited superiority over others.
yeah.
You know, I experienced a priest a few weeks ago, and he told me, so he's a redemptorist priest. He told me, he said, "Oh boy, you don't know, say we get father, we no be Christian," and that word shook me to my bone marrow. And I asked him, "Father, what is the meaning of that?" He said, "We have a lot of priests that are not Christians. That somebody can be a priest, is not a Christian, you know." And I began to reflect on that, and I'm like, wow, I didn't been myself. Oh, I also continue with the seminar information. Maybe I'll have been a stupid man, and I'll be one of the
Mm,
most stupid, because yes, because I'll be looking at people like trash. A lot of
mm-hmm,
priests do that. Very insensitive, very inhuman, and you are wondering what is what is Christ like about the person who calls himself another Christ. You know, you know. So,
mm-hmm. Wait,
so
you dropped
something.
a quote. You dropped a quote. This guy, we want to break this table that we are managing. What is
So
Christ like about this
yeah,
person? Say it
what is
again.
what
I don't
is
want to be the
Christ
one to
like
say it.
about this person that is another Christ?
Mm.
And
It's a
also,
question for everybody.
yes, and also the thing also is that being an ex-seminarian, you just go to parishes randomly, and priests are at mass giving homily. They just speak. They don't even touch that part. And
Mm,
sometimes I began to feel ourselves like, are we the lost sheep of the church? Because the way you are being looked upon at, like a criminal, like
mm,
one Luciferious and Armageddonic Satanist, and you are wondering if is it not the same place you wanted to become? Like, just because you couldn't continue again, you know.
mm,
And he made a priest and father priest. I want to, and the priest said some things. I know it, and you know that this priest is an error at mass. And you're like, father, sorry, during mass I listened to you, but I think this one I'm not to follow like that. Or this one. And the next question is, how do you know? Are you supposed to know? For you to know this, it means that you have been in the system before. So are you an ex-seminarian? You now say something. You now say yes. I said it because they believe that, because some of them believe that what they are saying, they don't expect anyone to know. So when you know, they see you as, oh, for you to know this part, you must have been in the system before.
Yeah.
I saw a priest somewhere and I said, are you a priest of Franciscan of the Immaculate? A Franciscan friar priest, with this gray and this harsh habit. And he
Mm.
said to me, how do you know? How do you know I'm a priest of Franciscan of the Immaculate? Are you an ex-seminarian? I was like, why is it? Why, Father? Why are you furious? Do you know if I'm, curious about a lot of things and the rest of that? So
Yeah.
it's the experiences so far has been ups and down. I see it from both sides. Some priests learn that you are next to me, and the next thing they want to draw you close.
Mm-hmm.
They want to draw you close, and they are looking out for how to help you and the rest of that. Why some look at you and feel that, okay, at this point, you know what? I don't have any business with you again.
Mm-hmm.
Just be
Mm-hmm.
on your own. Uh-huh. If it is not priesthood with you, nothing else can connect us except
Yeah.
you make the money, and the
Yes.
rest of that.
So hold on. Accept you make the money, and what happens? Like you become chairman of bazaar committee or what?
Yes, some are you aware? Son of big God, let me bring
Yes.
this to your notice. Are you aware that without your notice, there are some priests that are constantly viewing your profile to check, to see something, and that's something that they want to see. You really cannot tell. Some are trying to see, oh, you don't make am, you don't fail. Okay, if this guy don't make am, now our guy, we go talk say we go the same place. But if you say the
Yes.
guy no make am, we go talk say we know say you no go even make am in the first place. Now why we pursue am be that? Now if
Mm-hmm.
you eventually make it, as you're already making it, if as you're already making it, you will hear something like, it was our brother, you know, he live in the Schwenstans community. But anyways,
Mm.
anybody cannot be priest. You begin to hear friendly statements like that. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but when you actually introspect, is it really what it is? Or it's because
Mm.
of the status of the person, who
Yes.
claims to who they claim to be their brother. Ehen.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. But in a case where the person is doing otherwise, ah, you will hear the rage. Oh, we know that is never going to. That's why we ask him to go.
Yes.
You know, but I don't think that there's anybody that is
Voila.
beyond repair. Yeah,
It's as if
I don't
me.
think that there's anybody that is beyond repair.
It's as if me.
Yes.
Everyone is everyone is good to go. I don't
Yeah.
think that there's anyone beyond repair.
There are very important things that you are lifting
No,
up.
only
Let
those
me
who
let me
have
see.
only those who have made it to the priesthood.
Is that what you think? Tell us more about that. Chiwike, yeah, tell us your name, by the way. You have been going on and off, so people don't know who you are. Can you tell us your name? And then tell
Uh,
us why you think so.
sorry, sorry, please. My network has not been friendly with me since today, so I don't know why it keeps going on and off. But God will pass the devil this night. Mhm. So I am Wancho Chukwubikem Jonathan. Yes, Joseph. Joseph speaking is my colleague, my cartel. He's my very close friend. No, he's my contemporary in the seminary. So
Mm,
fortunately, we belong to the same congregation, but different organisms, as they usually call it. They say it's
mm,
organism. So I've been trying since my philosophy one to know why all of us are organisms. Even till today, I never understand them, but thank God said that one don't pass. Mm.
mm.
So he's from the West delegation, while I came from the East delegation. Sorry, East
Okay,
province. So we
okay.
are we are known as the highest province in Africa. So, but from what we are talking about, The only people that are beyond the repair are those of them that have reached the boundary. Let me just put it that way. People that have already crossed the boundary, those that have crossed the bridge, they are the ones that are beyond repair. I can remember during our days in the seminary, at least Joseph will bear me witness. One of our priests, our formator then, so they will always be hammering to you that as long as the seminary life is concerned, that we are not your brothers. So you
Mm.
can imagine as a young growing seminarian, and somebody will just come and tell you we are not brothers. So then within yourself will be like, then what am I doing here? So you see that they are already showing you that example that you are the only the one that need to measure up in order to meet us because we're already there. So
Mm.
for you to belong, you must have to struggle and strive to be there as well. So which means whatever they do is always perfect. Because I remember one encounter I had with one of our formators that year. I know he's aware of
Mm.
it. You know, a situation whereby you will say you will have to a priest will do something. You will tell the priest, Father, this is how it's supposed to be. I think if you go this way, it will be like, my friend, keep quiet. Are you the one forming us or we are the one forming you? So you can imagine such a
Yeah.
oh my
I let
god.
let me
Honestly,
chip in something. Let me chip in something. There, I was talking with a priest here, a Nigerian-born priest, but he's here in the US, and he was telling me that during their parish council meetings here, sometimes he doesn't say anything, or it's not about what he says or the ideas that he brings. Sometimes a young boy, a young person, anybody, what they are listening for is superior arguments. They are planning for the way that the parish will progress. Anybody that has a superior argument around how things will be done better, they go with it. But I hear what you're saying. Are you the one forming us? Are we the one forming you? Joseph, I'm going to put a question to you because there's something you said that was very
yeah,
striking.
you can
Okay.
You said something about are we the lost sheep of the church? That's a very powerful statement. And that's kind of why I am
Yeah.
hosting this platform.
wow.
That's kind of why I'm hosting this platform. And at the end of this, I will still ask probably both of you. At the end of the day, are you not still Catholics? I imagine you are.
Yeah.
So can you
Yes.
can you can you tell
Definitely.
us more? Can
Me,
you tell
I'm
us
standing
more
with one
about?
leg. Oh, to be frank with you, son of big God.
Can you tell us more, Joseph, about that statement and how you feel about it?
And again,
Yeah.
go ahead, sir.
The reason why I said that are we the lost sheep of the church is because of the reception towards you as an ex-seminarian sometimes, and some people, most especially our ministers, our priests, just feel that there is nothing to you again. You meet a priest for a job opportunity and he's telling you something like, well, it's not a bad thing if you start cleaning the toilet of the church. And you know that this person used to be on the altar with you. It's not as if you cannot do it. But is that the best he could project to you? That means that he's seeing you from the light of you cannot do better than that. Mhm. So with all your
Exactly.
philosophy
You are no longer.
and everything, so he's projecting to you that out of all the job opportunities, that is what he wants you to do. Because I've met someone, I told them,
Toilet,
this
washing of
is
the
it.
toilet.
No, they will ask me the question like, they are willing to help you. You hear stuff like, did you finish your philosophy? That's always the first question. And they're
Mm.
like, yes. And they're like, okay, since you have finished your philosophy and then you have your first degree in philosophy, and you can just bring it. And you try to the next thing, they are telling their secretaries that I don't want to see that boy here again. So yeah, and you come
You can imagine.
and they'll be outside towards you, and you're wondering that, and but it's helping others. It's helping others. So why I said are we the lost sheep of the church is that, bro, many ex-seminarians are lost.
Mm.
I must commend the work you are doing. You are doing a very good work, but many ex-seminarians are lost. People have this conception that when you leave the seminary, your life is never going to be better again. Now, some of our ex-brothers cannot absorb that shock. Some of our ex-brothers do not have the opportunity to meet people who have left the seminary before them. So when they get beclouded by the pain of leaving the seminary, there is nobody to heal them. Sometimes even their family houses that they think is a place of consolation becomes a place of chronic pain to them. You know, so it's
Seriously,
I'm saying all of these things
seriously.
because these are my own personal experiences. So I'm using my experiences to actually educate us. Yes. So you see some of these our ex brothers, they just feel that everything I've been doing for the whole of these years, God is not real. God is a scam. Because some people have made God to look so in our eyes. You know, you just see a lot of us, a lot of our brothers who are no longer in the system, living life like the prodigal son. And when you try to speak to a brother, his action does not mean he's a bad person. You know this brother that ordinarily this brother wouldn't do this. And you're trying to, brother, please, this path you are treading is bad. And he begins to rage that you are speaking, you do not have the capacity to help him. And those who have the capacity
You want
to
to read the
help him
question?
is
Yeah,
I was
I'm
actually
actually reading the
thinking,
question, but it's too
Yeah,
long.
you all can read it and
Yeah,
respond to it. Yes.
I
okay, I was
was
actually
actually
thinking
thinking
this
there's
question
question
mark
mark
on the
on the
formation of the
formation in
seminary
the
because
seminary.
they
They
hardly
hardly
employ
employ
ex-seminary.
ex-seminarian.
I
Maybe
think
they
I was
don't
trying to say.
have confidence in the formative
Maybe they
system
don't have confidence in the
inside the
formative
seminary.
system
Of
inside the
course,
seminary except after ordination.
cert-
Well,
certainly. Of if I'm to chip in this question, I think there is one striking point there that you mentioned, not having confidence in those they formed. Then you can now imagine if formators now doesn't trust the seminarians they formed, then that means there is a question mark that that uh, that that is embedded in the formation in the formation in Nigeria. So you can imagine where a seminarian will just an ex-seminarian will go and meet a priest. Father, I'm looking for this particular job, please. And he knows that he's in the best position to employ. He'll be
Yeah.
like, we are sorry. Then sorry for what? You can imagine. This I'm sorry. I have been receiving this countless times now. I've not just started my own story actually, but we are just trying to start. Let's just finish. Let's just finish this one.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
you can imagine if 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 formators cannot believe in the seminarians they formed, then it means that them themselves they have questions to answer, because some of them know that if they were in our shoe, that none of them would have become a priest today, as I'm just talking to you. I just realized that because they followed Vatican I and they finally saw themselves there. So now they felt that
Mm.
the generation coming now, they are not worth becoming what they have become. So, and that is
Mm.
actually what that person that put that question is just trying to point out. There is actually a very big question mark in the formation in Nigeria, because it's just like a father who trained a son, and then when it's time for the son to act in the person of the father will say no. I rather hire somebody from outside to take my place instead of my own son. Then it means that what that father needs to be accountable for trying to take that particular decision. So I think
Okay,
that is
let me get
the problem,
some of.
the angle
Okay,
I'm seeing that particular question now.
let's get Joseph's thoughts on that, and then I will circle back. There's a question I will ask both of you. Something we have shared also on this platform before. Joseph, do you have something to say about that question? Joseph, you're frozen.
Yes, I'm here now. I think my network is okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, yeah. I think he has literally said it all. Um, what I feel is that I actually feel that you cannot be you cannot be trained as an army and expect to work in an oil company. Hmm? That's
Mm,
a contradiction of affairs. It's a contradiction of affairs. You see, the seminary formation is geared towards the priesthood. You are being trained be on how to be a priest. So I think some feel that where you are going to, that formation is not that's job to do is not necessary there. You know why I say this? Okay, I've gone to
mm-mm,
look for a job somewhere, and they asked me what my qualification, and I said bachelor's degree. They said in what? Then I said philosophy, and they looked at me and like, no, we want something more professional. Yeah, you want to be a lecturer or a teacher?
mm,
And they're like, where did you school? And I said, well, I school at Imo State University. So when they asked me to submit my credentials, they were seeing clinicianist of philosophy, an affiliate of Pontifical Bar University in Rome and Imo State. And they're like, wow, you went to pastor school, because they are not Catholics. So it is being regarded
Well,
as
it's not
you went
pastor
to a
school.
pastor school. So they started calling me pastor. hmm
yeah.
So before I knew what was happening, they invited me to their say I should come and preach I should come and give talk. But I said, oh,
Mm.
actually, sorry, I cannot do this. So it was something very, yes, it was something very
Uh,
challenging.
let me say something before I ask you another question. Okay. Let me say something before I ask you guys another question. And these are like disclaimers. This platform is owned by Son of Big God, a Catholic, an ex-seminarian. He first went to seminary. They finished secondary school. They pursue him. He went back. Try finish. Did jam. Got admission to UNN, but decided to go back to seminary. He went to seminary and would eventually graduate and live on his own. So he has an experience of being pursued and experience of living. But he's a Catholic. And I believe that a lot of ex-seminarians who come on this platform still love the church. So why I'm saying this is that this platform is open for all of you, for any ex-seminarian to come and vent. You're allowed to vent because obviously there's no other space for that. There's no other space for that. But at the backdrop of our events, at the backdrop of as we share these emotions, as we share these feelings, I personally want to make the disclaimer that it is okay. Yeah. Any one of us who has been through the seminary formation will know that no one of us can destroy the church. None of us. The history of the church is way deeper than that, way bigger than that. So, as I make that disclaimer, I have interviewed a couple other people who shared, and like we all know, that according to the program of priestly formation, the seminarian is to be formed in human, spiritual, intellectual, and pastoral dimensions. However, is that the case in Nigeria? That's the question we should be asking. Because I believe that anybody who is intellectually formed, humanly formed, pastorally formed, and spiritually formed can function anywhere eventually. um, all of these skills, all of these buildings that we get can be transferred to other fields, but it's not easy. One has to put down, go to work. Like one has to like probably take some courses, change course, but the wherewithal is not always available. Like the resources, the time. Some of us go into seminary late in our age, and then we come out, we are so old and so unable to like pick up new tasks. So I want to chip that in and then ask Joseph. After Joseph, then Chibuike will tell us about the question mark information in Nigeria. What do you think? What are the things that that take away from the core of the formation in Nigeria, of the seminary formation of to be or aspiring Catholic priests in Nigeria? What are the things that you think are not there right now, or that can be better, from your experience of being in the seminary for these many years?
Number one is proper psychological analysis. You know, proper psychological analysis in the sense that in the seminary you need to give your seminarians the ability to be free with friends of the seminaries who attend the seminary for mass. My one of my experience as a seminarian was that I experienced an MSP seminarian who would tell me that after mass on Sunday in his community, they are free to interact with those that attended mass, those that come from outside to the seminary for mass. But in my own seminary, those days, you dare not. It's part of the rule. After mass on Sunday, you just go in, broom. Even though someone is trying to talk to you, brother, you're just going because you don't want to be seen with anybody, and it's going to be interpreted severely. But we are doing this in the seminary, thinking that we are pleasing the formators. But when we leave the seminary, what happens? When you go outside or you go to your parishes, that which you are asked not to do is what you do the more. And it's always looking as if you have been, you have been released from prison. That
Mm.
you want to explore it, and you're like, or then I just 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks now, they go back to school. So that thing I cannot do in school. Let me go and let me start doing. Let me start doing this now. Because if you
Wait,
don't,
wait, 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 wait. Wait, say it again in pidgin. The way you said it.
now, so you have something like, holiday na 2 weeks. The holiday will be 2 weeks. The thing is small. That's the way we say if you go back to school now just this 2 weeks holiday, the thing is small. Die. As this holiday takes small, that's what I know if you do for school. Man, just use this 2 weeks, run am. And
ASAP,
what are those things that
ASAP,
you are
sharply,
running?
sharply.
You're looking at it that
Flex.
you're going to be in school for a very long period of time. For like 3 to 4 months, you'll be in
Yes,
school.
now.
And before you, maybe when you're resuming for the second semester, you know, and then before you see the opportunity again, you just know that, all these my parishioners are coming to greet me. There's one woman I want to greet. And maybe in the same time, maybe you see an old woman that reminds you of your mother or your grandmother, and
Mhm.
you just feel like, you just feel compassionate, you just feel moved, you just feel very compassionate. That okay, this woman is looking like my old woman. She reminds me of my grandmother. I just want to greet her, just to honor her by, mommy, how you doing? You look like, just to, and you're like, if you try it in the community here, they will use you
But they will spare
for
you.
homily in the next. Yes, they'll
Mm.
start threatening
That,
you
they will threaten you with
that,
expulsion. They will use expulsion and threaten you straight. My
Mm.
God.
yes,
Person don't see
they will
Okay.
use
sense
certain
now.
things like declarations. I'm wondering that parishioners, friends of the seminaries, those that live close by in the neighborhood, decide to attend the seminary for mass. And as a seminarian, they cannot comfortably talk to you because in Clarion Seminary those days, it was a grievous offense. You cannot talk
Mm.
to those that come from outside. Even
I'm,
your
I'm, I'm,
classmates
yeah.
that is a lay student, you cannot talk to them.
Wait.
So
Time
it's
out.
always
This one is painful. This one is really painful. I don't usually call like stop people, but when we drop very, very intense things, I like to break them down. I like to break them down because this is
wow.
really bad. This is really terrible. What are the possible reasons behind forming young men who are going to be leader personalities, who are going to be examples in quotes? who are going to be interacting with mothers, with fathers, with young boys and girls and children, who are going to stand in the church as somebody who has been formed in these four dimensions: the human, the spiritual, the intellectual, and the pastoral. So what is the philosophy behind forming them in ways that is like policemanning? They cannot interact with people. I'm glad that the seminary system in Nigeria is not one across board. In the Schoenstatt Fathers, where I was in Ibadan, after mass, oh my goodness, after mass, there's nothing else we do. Just sit down with any girl you like, be chatting. Sit down with a group of boys, be chatting. You can sit down with another a family. You can take a walk around. You can do rosary. You can say rosary together. You can chat with people. You can do like we have in Schoenstatt Fathers in Badan. To be honest, they are not the best. A lot of things have changed since I left. But myself and a couple of people who were there when I was there, we got a very good formation. That's why I can come on here and say the things I say, because I those are things I could say to my formators. Like we will have meeting about rosary procession, and I, Fortunatus, coming from junior seminary in Usuka, where I dare not say pim. I have no voice, I have no take, I have no agency, I don't exist. Anything they decide, I do. I came to Schoenstatt in Ibadan. And the first rosary procession, we had meeting, and rector was there, and students were contributing. No, we will not do full rosary. No, let us not add litany. No, I'm like, what? That was so shocking. But that's how I got to learn um, that the Schoenstatt fathers form free, firm, priestly personalities. They teach you how to live your freedom responsibly, responsible freedom. It's not perfect. Some people don't get it, some people get it, some people don't appreciate it, some people appreciate it. So why I'm lifting this up is just so that people who are viewing do not think that the seminary formation is like one across board. Some have some different accentuations that either make it more or less in either of these areas. So yes, in this regard that you guys are sharing, I feel like you guys were formed in the ancient times. Honestly, I don't understand
We went to
why.
Vatican One. We went to Vatican One. Honestly,
I mean, there were sea formators in my congregation at some point that will witch hunt people for being very star. Like some of our guys, some of my classmates were very good in music, very good in. So when the guy is done playing keyboard, girls will be like all over him after mass. It's not his fault, but some of our formators did not like that. The other people who will sing very well on Sunday, and then people want to say hello to them, brother. You have such a good voice. Sometimes some of these people also had difficult experiences, but so I'm lifting all of these things up to say that the human element is there. Even where in church that we had something like a good experience, the human element was still there. And for your experience, my goodness, I don't know how to make of it. And I hope that people from Claretian Institute or Claretian congregation are listening. Who are you forming? Like what is behind that? What is behind
they are
forming
forming. They are
people?
forming. They are. They are
Go
forming
ahead,
future
please.
sense. They are trying to form future sense. See, there is this experience I had from my first year. You know, it baffles me when I see myself, a young vibrant guy that just left. You know, I have not attended seminary for once. I did not go to junior seminary. I went all through my life. All the school that I went to is a big school that have girls and boys all together. And trust me now, I'm the type that whenever I enter, everybody will know that Jonathan has arrived. You see, that's my own
Mm.
personality. Joseph can attest to that. So when I got to CIP, it just took me just one semester. I became the man of the whole school. You can imagine. And now you see now that personality alone, I don't even know where to classify it, but that personality alone contributed to one of the greatest tussle I had while being formed as a cleration. You understand?
Mm.
Because there are some priests that likes my personality, and then others that like it, but they won't want to express it, but they would always want you to come and become a parasite to them, of which
Mm.
you on your own accord will decide to say no. So when they see
Yeah.
you becoming a close friend to the other person, it becomes a problem. Then they will even go
Mm-hmm.
to the extra mile of even forbidding you from coming up to the formators wing. So you can imagine such a thing. So now
Mm.
from my side, when I went after postulancy, I went to CIP to do philosophy. So in my one, that year in the Claration Institute, when you come newly, it will take up to like 1 week. Or let's say, okay, you resume on Thursday, then by Saturday, that is when you'll be invested your sutan. So because God knows that I have longed to wear that sutan. Eh? Why?
Mm.
Because I'm this kind of a lousy seminarian. God have mercy. Uh, I'm a very lousy seminarian. You understand? So if you see
Wait,
me
wait.
putting on that
You
suit,
are or you were? Because are you still a seminarian?
I say I was. Let me use that
Okay.
word. I
Okay.
wear. I wear. Because I'm no longer a seminarian. Nothing will ever make me to be one.
Okay. Okay.
So you see, so I was a very lousy seminarian. So you see, so whenever you see me, you know that Jonathan is coming. Because when you see me, you just see a kind of a balcony, according to our people, a balcony seminarian that he don't even send anything. You just see
Yeah.
him. The way you see him, that is the way he is. So you see,
Mm.
so you go there, you experience a different world altogether. You understand? Because now something happened at the course of my formation. Hmm? Now let me just tell you the very honest truth, son of the God.
Yeah.
In my final year philosophy, before we left CIP, I think I
Yeah.
told Joseph this thing. Look at him. I told him. I shared that experience with him, and that should be before we graduated, because he was my very good. He was very close to me. So probably if we are counting those that may know my secret, I should count him number one. You see, so you see that the one of our priests called me and one of my classmates. So he was like telling us that he didn't understand our formation lifestyle anymore, because then I was working as a storeman. So, and when you are doing a particular function, so there are some things that will be exempted from you automatically because of the nature of your function. You understand? So
Yes.
that year, so immediately I took up the function, I start dodging prayers very well, because the stress alone go dey. Hey Jesus, the stress alone. Ah, imagine where I will from morning to night, I will run the whole thing. Feeding seminary, how it used to be now. Taking things from the store, giving it to those cook. After everything, you run
Mm.
and come
No,
back. And in the night, they will still
I've been
expect you
at
to come
home
and
now.
save vespers. Who they want
Wait,
kill.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Wait, Joseph.
Um,
Joseph, do you want to jump in?
um,
Or you're talking to your
yeah,
babe?
brothers, I need to um, it's it's.
Hey,
I just need to go right
just
away. Mhm.
Joseph.
Yes. So
Formators are no more in charge of you. We have other formators now.
Omo.
All
eh,
right, Joseph. Joseph, I appreciate you joining us today. I would have loved to ask you like any thoughts you have for
I just
seminarians and formators, but we can come around. You can join us another time. If you finish what you're doing and you are still able to join us, that's okay. So thank you for joining. Do you have any last words before you go?
all right. Thank you very much, son of big God, Fortunatus, and Wancho, nobody ugly. Yes, thank you for
get
bringing me on the
out.
show. It's such a privilege to. Yeah. So thank you very much, and I really appreciate it. Son of big God, you are a good man. You know, but don't forget to bring us also to the US. You know, we have our passport. You know, but then again, we are just waiting. You know, just bring us. You know, we'll come and so we are shooting our.
All right, all right. Do you have any last one word?
All right.
One word, one last word for other ex-seminarians and seminarians. One last word.
Yeah, the one I have for them, one of the last one I have for them is they should they should keep their hopes very high. You know, their the world is a place of multiple opportunities. You know, and the opportunities are very much endless. The possibilities are very high. So if they can think about that, well, success is not far from them. So that's just it.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
We'll let you go. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was really nice to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Joseph. Thank you,
you my
Peters.
pleasure.
My Kateman. Thank you very much.
All
Yeah.
right, my
So
brother.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So okay. So you can imagine. So after passing through those stress and they will still expect you to come for prayers. What I normally do is immediately after that, I'll just go straight to my room. I will lock the door, and that is it for the whole day. I'll just tell my assistant, oh boy,
Mm,
you better arrange for tomorrow. Though, but as at that, around the 11 p.m., I will still go out to verify because even the guy working with me, see, this thing, just like what Joseph was saying, there are lots of experiences you will get from the seminary, a lot. Hmm? Now
mm,
you will see where you will think that everybody in the seminary are humans, without knowing that some people are just there to help you go to
mm.
live for them to help you live, because some people will even be happy. Okay, now imagine in our set. I'm just trying to be plain and sincere to you. Imagine where you'll be 11 in the class. Somebody will be praying NSE for them to spell one. At least when they spell somebody, they will remain 10, and at least the chances of you getting ordained is coming closer. Then after one academic year, they will pray for another person to be expelled, so we remain 9. Then you praying that type of prayer. So if everybody got expelled and only you remain and become father, then you have made it in life. These are the type of
Well,
human beings
let me pause you there, okay? And that is exactly the last. I made a post about dangerous testimonies. Dangerous
I,
testimonies. A lot of
I
people,
saw.
both priests and not priests, it feels like a way of feel is like an affirmation to them that they were the only ones who was successful when other people suffered, you know, difficult ordeals. And it makes me wonder who or what their image of God is in that sense. If it is God's will that that I shouldn't be a priest, I think God is glorified that I leave the seminary or that I am expelled. If it is the will
Exactly.
of God that you, Jonathan Chinwike, if it is the will of God that you will not be a priest, I think God is glorified by you being expelled or by you living on your own. So for somebody to make or give or share a testimony saying that it many were called, few are chosen, so we are the chosen ones. I wonder
That
what
has
their
been the
image of God is.
ah, that has been the national anthem. Honestly, see,
uh,
I took my time. This thing I'm telling you now, not that these things we have said openly, but there is something that will happen. You see somebody's body movement, the thing will
mm,
just tell you that actually that this person is actually praying that something like this happens. So even from the
mm,
way from the attitude they will be showing you, so you'll be noticing that actually this person wanted it to shift so that they will have edge of getting closer to that to being ordained.
yes,
So
yes.
you see, so but me right from time I told myself that, oh boy, you will not scale through here. I told myself, oh, from year two. So now
Mm,
what I was now praying for now is how to finish at least philosophy. Of course,
mm,
I know that actually I'm not going to complete the formation there because
yes.
I started seeing the sign from early stage. So I was just
Yes.
telling myself, just focus, be consistent, and graduate from here. So now, at the course of
Mm.
my formation, I now found out that the seminary, the church in Nigeria, is not even interested in your formation, because you ask question concerning this before to Peters.
Mm.
So you see now that the seminary in Nigeria is not even interested in your formation. What they are after is forming people who are intelligent and who can be able to represent academically. Final. So whatever that you make out of yourself is none of their business. That is why you
Mm.
see now that in the seminary, they train seminarians who pretend a lot just to make
Mm.
sure that they become priests. Hmm? Now
Yeah.
the most shocking aspect of it is that you will see somebody that you were contemporaries with, but unfortunately you resigned on your own, or the person was
Mm.
there when they expelled you. When immediately the person mistakenly cross over and become priest, you see that he knows you not, and that was the type of experiences I'm having now.
Mm.
So
Mm.
you can imagine, people that the okay now. For example, the auxiliary I know when I entered in year one, we became good friends. You know that time I'm a very popular person in the graduation, because when I came, my surname became an object of laughter there, because it sounds somehow funny to them. So it's the first
Mm.
time they are seeing someone from Ebony State. So you see, so
Wait, tell us
the
so that we
my
can laugh at you too.
the, the, you want to take me back to Jerusalem, Abi?
Sorry, no mind, never mind, never mind.
No, no. So you see, when I came, they asked me, "What's your name?" I said, "My name is Wancho Jonathan." They were like, "Hello, Wancho." So like, it was sounding somehow. So now some of the formators, all of them become so much interested. So before you know, where's Wancho? Before you know, where's Wancho? Because I'm the only person bearing the surname there. So, and it's unlike other unlike what they have been seeing from there. So you see, the thing
Yes.
now made them to start paying much attention to me.
Mm.
So you see, so now those popularity and the relationship I built in the seminary, I bet you, I none of nobody cares again about me till today that I'm talking to you. You see, one of the things you face as an ex-seminarian, you see that forgetfulness. Immediately you leave the seminary, that is the end for you. So, but
Mm.
you know, maybe today may not be the actual time. Maybe tomorrow we'll have a very good time to tell the story from the beginning to the
Yes.
end of it, so
Yes.
that
Yes.
everybody can actually see how the thing is from the inside.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So, but this one, I'm just trying to scratch the whole thing from, just let me just be scratching it from different angles, so that we can
Yeah.
be able
Uh,
to see if we'll get something tangible. So, you
Great.
see the thing, that
Um,
is just
um,
the
brother, can I? We've been here for an hour, and I wanted to make sure that I get to something before we leave. It sounds like I'm hearing
okay.
that your time was in the seminar was very good. It was like a very good part of your life. You were very popular, you were known, you were living, you were just having a good time, even though sometimes you feel like you don't know if you'll make it. And then it got to a point when you left, and it feels like it seems like um, you've been forgotten by the people that were most close to you or you were most close to. I'm just wondering, how does that feel for you? Like, what is coming up for you as you talk about that?
I, Actually, there is great bitterness within. But
mm,
most time I was told not to look like my trouble, my problem.
mm, mm,
So I'm just a jolly good fellow. Mm.
mm.
Actually, son of the God, not that I have a very good time in the seminary. No, it's because I went
Okay.
there. Though they helped me to harness my potentials. You understand? Because if you count one of the best goalkeepers in the declaration, at least you count me number one.
Mm.
You understand? So that is actually what bring about my fame there. Not that
Okay.
there is any other thing. So when it
Okay.
comes to
Let me
sports,
pause you
I
again.
give him my
Let
best.
me. I'm going to do
Okay,
timeout again because there's something I want to get at.
okay,
There's something I want to get at. I want to do timeout. I'm going to ask you because I heard you say that there is great bitterness within. I want you to know that you have every right to feel bitter. It's okay to feel bitter. This is a disruption. This is you went there. You were an adult before you went to the seminary. You're not like some of us that went there for secondary school and then continue. So you went there with hopes, with expectations to wear the sultan and to do all of that. So it got cut short, and there's great bitterness within you. That's what I'm hearing now. Can you tell me more about the bitterness? Feel free to share about it. It is not wrong. Nobody has the liberty or rights to tell you not to feel bitter. If you feel bitter, it's okay. It's a human experience. It's a response
yeah.
to the loss that you have experienced. So tell us how, just share more with us about the bitterness.
You see, somebody is already booking Tom for the study.
Booking what?
You can see the right up there.
Okay. Oh
Somebody
yeah.
is already booking Tom for the part of
Tom-
this.
yes. Tomorrow we are going to be having this live session again at 8 p.m. Nigerian time, and Francis will be the moderator. So tomorrow I will not be the one moderating. Francis will moderate. I'll just be in the background and maybe add one or two things. So yes, come around tomorrow.
Okay.
Be with us, and Francis will be the moderator. Mr. Chibuikem Jonathan will be giving us like a full dose of his experience in the seminary, and a couple of other people may come too. So we are open to receive any ex-seminarian who wants to come and share their stories. Please just send us a message. And back to you, brother. You mind sharing about the bitterness that is the deep bitterness that
Okay.
is
So,
within you?
mm, and, mm, I actually why I'm bitter is not because I'm entitled to anybody, or I kind of seen it as an entitlement. But what bitters me is that fact that you know you know what you actually contributed to your formation. You know the type of services you rendered, and how you have participated actively to the formation that you are being formed. But after everything, I just discovered that nobody cares for you, nobody cares about you, nobody cares about your whereabouts. Nobody is even asking you, oh boy, how are you faring? You know, how is life even treating you? You know, I don't know. Even some of the priests
Christ is king.
that
Christ is king.
I I worked for, some of them that I actually run errands for, some of them that I even gave my best to, and some basic things that someone who is fond of somebody can actually give. You give
Hmm.
all these things, but after everything,
There's a random person that
you
joined.
just
Sorry, continue. Sorry, I'm sorry to stop you.
okay.
Go ahead.
So then after everything, you find out that nobody is asking you of your whereabouts. Nobody's even interested in anything about you. once you have leave the seminary, that is the end for you. Most times I used to think about it. I'll be like, how possible is it that after 4, 5, 6 years being in the seminary or being a clerician, then after everything, even your own brothers, as in those who call you brothers, nobody is even saying, oh boy, how far? That you left us doesn't mean that our bond has broken.
mm,
It is still there, but imagine nobody is even asking you anything. So even
yeah.
what they are even praying is for you not to succeed, so that you will regret why you left there. So
Mm,
most times when I remember all these things, I'll be grieved. I'll be like, is this actually what is supposed to be? Hmm? The
mm,
seminary that I went to with my full heart, trying to serve God. So I went there, I saw a different version of everything I thought. Don't worry,
mm.
tomorrow I can be able to share those things from the scratch so that you understand my own perspective of going to the seminary and
Okay,
the what I got in return of it. So you see,
okay.
my bitterness is that aspect of it that nobody cares about you anymore. And I'm not even complaining. No,
Mm,
I'm not complaining at all, and I don't even want anybody to ask of me at all, because
mm,
I've seen and I have heard the stories of ex-seminarians that
mm,
left the seminary, or those of them that were pursued, and today some of them they know where they are, because I know my
mm,
own brother that came from the same place with me. Mm. When they dropped him from our congregation, because he was like 5, 6 years ahead of me. When they dropped him,
mm,
mm, they felt it was the end of the road for him. But today, he is somewhere in Europe, living comfortably, and he doesn't care about anybody, and he don't
mm,
want anybody to care about him. These are the things
mm.
that when I remember, I now have every reason to tell myself, oh boy, you are heading towards somewhere, so don't even
Yeah.
relent at all. So you see, so these are the type of hope I used to give to myself, until
Mm,
eventually that particular day that I stumbled upon your page. Then that was when
mm,
I brought my stamp and hit it like this. Boom, it's over. So
mm.
remember, like this now, I'm no longer bitter though, because
Wow.
I don't think that anybody following you will see reason to to get bitter again.
Um. Wow,
So you can
Jonathan.
imagine, because
I,
the bass
I
boat
want to
way they
just.
drop or more guy.
I, I
The thing
refrain.
supposed give any seminarian the edge to forge. Hmm?
Mm,
Actually,
I
there
opened
are
this
reasons
page.
why.
I opened this page because of people like you. Um, the experience you're having, I have had, and I'm not comparing our experiences. I'm just telling you that he who wears the shoe knows where it hurts, and never feel obliged to explain to anybody to defend why you're bitter. That's what people do to us when we share our stories. They label you, they demonize you, they give you an agenda that you don't have. What is wrong with sharing your story here? What is wrong with writing a post about how it felt bad, that something you longed for? It was like a dating, it was like a relationship. You left, probably left doing boy, or left going to university, or left something to go to the seminary. So, what is wrong with sharing that there is grief around that? That the fact that it was cut short, that you are grieving. Why should you not? It is in the place of that grief that you're going to find healing, especially when you express it. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to talking more with you. And I just want you to know that it's okay. It's okay to even cry if it makes you feel like crying. I have cried so many times. It's
I no fit
okay.
cry again. Son of big God, I no fit cry again. I don't chop stone like this. I don't
So
feel
all right.
cry. Even now, you want to make me to cry, but I reject
No, no,
it.
no,
I don't fit.
no. I will not make. That's not my agenda. My agenda is to listen to you. My agenda is to be present with you. My agenda is to be another supportive person, another hand that can tell you that you know what, you have a right to feel what you feel. You have a right to tell your story. Your experience is your experience, and in all of the universe, you are the only expert in your story. So tell it with pride, tell it with joy, tell it with tears when they come up. At the end of the day, that's what makes us human. The complexity of all of these things. People always want to see the good side. Let's say the good things about our church. Let's say the good things about the seminary system. Let's say the good things about that's fine. That is very fine. But people are hurting. People are in pain. People are leaving the church. The root or the heart of Catholic theology is to make sense of the reality of the concreteness of God in our day-to-day experiences. To be able to make sense, to find meaning in the fact that there is a God, even as we're hurting, that there is a God, even as we're in pain, to make sense of the truth that there is a God or the reality of God in our day-to-day experiences, pain, joy, sadness, grief, bitterness, and all that. So, my brother, I want to thank you. I want us to end now so that I can go get some rest and then
No
prepare
problem.
for tomorrow. I would want to ask, do you have any, not final words because we are still going to be with you tomorrow? Do you have any words for like seminarians who are still in the seminary, or for other ex-seminarians, or even for formators who are watching this?
Hmm. A lot. There are a
Okay,
lot to be told, but we'll just take one and reserve the other ones for tomorrow. Hmm.
okay.
But the striking point is this: that any formator that is watching us live now should always know that the grass is not greener at the other side.
Mm,
That is just the parting word I have to. I want to give the formators. So that is my own philosophy of life now. Since I left the seminary, it has become my motto. The grass is not greener at the other side. So they should
tell
just
us
keep
more
it
about
in
that.
mind. They shouldn't think that because they are already. Yes. Now, what I mean is this. Most times, some priests and formators per se, they always think that when they expel a seminarian and forbid him from becoming a priest, that
Yeah,
already they have already killed the potential in that person, or they have already cut short of the person's life. But they don't know that
yeah.
most of us that left the seminary, God just used that place as a stepping stone to prepare us for the fortune coming our way.
Yeah.
So they should not look at it that because because we do not become priest, then therefore it's over. It's a lie. They should just know that
Mm,
if they cannot help a seminarian become a priest, then they should also help him to to understand or to trace his ways even outside the four walls of the seminary. That should be that should be the most important aspect of the formation they should be giving seminarians. They should always
mm,
tell them and train them in such a way that even when they leave the seminary, they can always see where to lay hand on. Mm.
mm.
So because I
Okay.
know back in the days, they used to tell you that a priest will just walk up to you and tell you that Ichikwa father, I will resign as a priest. They will just tell you that.
Say that in
So
English for those who are not Igbo.
they will tell you that if you become this priest, let me remove my habit for you, and they will tell you pop and plain, and you see it, bah,
Mm,
you are gone. And now, funny enough, it's even something that doesn't make sense. is something that will expel a seminarian. As in,
Mm.
sometimes I used to wonder how on earth how on earth can this particular thing now be the reason why a seminarian will be asked to drop. I've been
Mm.
thinking about this. But don't worry, there are a lot of them who have time to share some, even those that were expelled at my front. Of which we know
Mm-hmm.
that these people, there is no reason behind these people's expulsion. Just like that, you hear that this person has been expelled. And funny
Yeah.
enough, the way they will put it itself, even you listening to it, you will just be laughing at yourself because you'll be wondering where the Holy Spirit and our Lord Jesus Christ came from.
All right. Do you have any last words? Do you have any last like maybe not last words, but do you have anything to say to seminarians? And you know what? Just choose what
Yeah,
one last thing to say. Let's end this, okay? Choose one last thing to say. Then for tomorrow we can itemize it, or
yeah.
Francis will do it however he
So,
wants.
okay. So I wish to encourage I wish to encourage our dear seminarians, those who are still in the journey, those who are
Mhm.
still in the process of becoming a priest. They should not lose hope. But one thing they should bear in mind is that there are two things that the church is owing them.
Mm.
That is two things: ordination and expulsion. By the moment they have these two things in mind, I think they will go far. That is just the word I have to
Mm.
give them now. So they should
Okay.
just plan themselves, knowing fully well that it's only two things that the church is owing them: ordination and expulsion. So any
Mm.
of these things can be their gift. So, and I wish them
Okay.
well in their journey so far.
Okay.
Thank
Let
you.
me add to that, and they can choose to live on their own.
Certainly,
Right?
just like us,
Yes.
they can, of course.
Mm-hmm. So, Bishop Honor, I will end with something that Bishop Godfrey Honor of Usuka Diocese said, that if you are always sad in the seminary, if you are always sad, every time you're sad, every time, it's not because you are sick, but there's for whatever reason you are always sad in the seminary, that might be a reason for you to choose to go. I have it. I have the video. I'll post it later. So thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you
Okay,
so much, my brother. Thank you, Joseph Ekanem. I see
thank you
your
so much, bro.
comments. Let me take a
Uh,
moment to
I
thank
think
all those
I
who
think
have joined us today.
we can link him up. We can link him up
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. Joseph Ekanem,
Mm.
you can join us
Is
tomorrow.
it possible?
Yes, yes. If he wants to join us, I'll chat him up and send him the link. And if anybody wants to join
Okay,
us, even whether tomorrow or later, you can join us. We are trying to gradually open this up. It must not just be ex-seminarians. Anybody who wants to share something that they have experienced and they want other people to learn from it, yeah, we will do that gradually. So Joseph Ekanem, thank you. Zini, thank you. Chinasa Ipe, thank you. Cindy, Gift Ifebuche. I just love how you all love me. Aww. I love the way you support. I appreciate it.
oh,
Eukarya. Oh my goodness. Adada, thank you.
no,
Ibe John Mary
the love
Valentine, thank you.
the love is massive.
Uh
We love you.
yeah. Okonkwo
We love you.
Jessica, thank you.
Did you say it's not easy
I
to be
just
a
feel it.
seminarian, son of the God? Hmm?
Azua
Did you say it's not
Matthias,
easy
thank
to
you.
be a
Let
seminarian?
me
Ah,
see if there is any more. Okay, I think I've mentioned all those who left a comment here. So once again, we appreciate you, Mr. Chibukem Jonathan, for joining us today. This was impromptu. We didn't plan this. The one we planned is tomorrow. This live session was actually supposed to be a recorded session between me and Charles, the Charles that we tried to interview last Sunday, but
yeah,
it did not work. His network is
yes,
still not good,
was
so we
okay.
couldn't interview him again. We'll keep trying. We want to bring his story out. We want people to hear his story as well. So
Certainly,
uh, we'll try again
certainly,
some other
certainly.
time. By the way, there is something going on my page right now about a giveaway for either a funny or discomforting testimony you have heard, and how we can correct those things, the theological
Mm,
errors in such testimonies. These are very important. I could have written maybe a post and posted, but the fact that we are engaging people, sharing their stories. One is fun, and two, it's a very different dynamic. It's a very different pedagogy of learning. So we are learning from each other. When I read some of the comments, I'm like wow. So yeah, so let's learn together. Let's be happy as we learn. So if you have not contributed your own, go there and do it. I may actually seek for funds and give to more than the
Okay.
people I planned. So
Okay.
all right, okay, thank you,
No,
and
certainly.
yes, all right, bye everyone.
By
People.
people.